Hey everybody, Colin here. Firstly, can I just thank all of you who sent in all the kind messages and feedback regarding the series of videos that I've been producing recently. There are lots more to come, so please subscribe and follow me. And there will be some interesting news, exciting news that I'll be announcing in the next 2 or 3 weeks as well. So please stay in touch with that. A lot of you have asked me about time management. And I start to smile when I say this because it is that age-old challenge that we've all had and we all still have, and we are always looking for solutions. There's not a wonderful solution to it, but I think we just need to put it into perspective. The first thing is to really sort of clarify that we cannot manage time. Time is 24 hours a day. It's not 22 hours in a day. There's not 8 hours in a day. It's 24 hours a day, and that's how it stays. So we can't do anything about that, but we can manage, of course, ourselves and those people around us. And I could talk about a lot of different sort of tips and ideas. We could touch on the Stephen Covey model, which is from the 1982 it was introduced, I think, and it's still so relevant today. And maybe in a future video I'll give my sort of touch on that and how it can work in a modern, more digitalized arena. But what I wanted to sort of touch on you is a good old-fashioned sort of way of managing our time. Sometimes we get up in the morning and we sit and do our to-do list. That's a sign of efficiency, by the way. There's many people probably watching this video who don't do a to-do list in the morning. They don't take that time of reflections, of thinking about what do they need to do today, what are their priorities. But as I said, with your own personal to-do list, your own private to-do list, it can change. It can be dominated by happenings throughout the day, through your own prioritization, your own morale, and how you feel about doing a particular job, the difficulty, etc. There's many factors that can mess things up, but we have to find some way of making it happen. Otherwise, we procrastinate and we end up at the end of the day completely burnt out, and we don't achieve what we need to achieve. There's a good old friend of mine, Sinclair Stevenson, who had this wonderful idea for managing teams, and this applies to individuals as well. He called it the 9 a.m. meet. And what he did every morning with the team, there was about 4 or 5 people, and what you did every morning at 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. or 10 a.m., whatever the time is, you spent about 15 minutes just going around the table, and people would give their commitment to what their absolute priorities were for that day. They had to commit to that, and part of the rule of the game, if you like, was that you had to do it. There was no excuses. I didn't have time was not an excuse. And what would happen on the Tuesday morning, let's say, you would go around the table, it would come to Colin, I would have to confirm that I'd done my actions from the day before, and then I would announce my absolute priorities for today. It could be one thing, it could be 2, it could be 3. If it's more than that, it's a challenge, but 3 absolute priorities is the maximum. And what this does, and I mentioned about sort of private and public. So if we do this privately, so if I actually sit in the morning and I sit having a cup of coffee and I'm writing down the things I've got to do today, as I said before, that can get blown out of the window. But if I actually sat in my office and I had that printed out, or I wrote it on a board behind my desk, these are my priorities for the day, and I shared it publicly, I'm more likely to commit and stick to those priorities, as well as other people around me understanding my workload for that day. So rather than assuming that I can absorb as much as they can throw at me, there will be an awareness. So I can do that personally, and if you do that with each member of the team as well, what you will find is a very high percentage of increase in efficiency in getting things done, but also people's commitment to it and having the flexibility, talk about managing those 8 hours, having that flexibility to bring in more creativity and more work, and also that time to have that downtime and relaxation and the brainstorming and everything else. So think about the 9 a.m. concept, put it into place, give it a try for a week, be very disciplined with it, set those rules out, and I can guarantee it'll make you more efficient and your team more efficient too. That's it. I'll be back with some more advice in the next few days. Take care, everybody. Cheers. Bye.